Love often begins at the emotional level, long before logic or social labels enter the picture. When two people connect through shared values, deep conversations, humor, and mutual respect, the mind prioritizes emotional safety over external factors. Age becomes background noise because the nervous system is responding to familiarity, warmth, and understanding rather than a birth year. Psychologically, humans are wired to seek emotional resonance. When someone feels seen, heard, and validated, the brain releases oxytocin, creating trust and attachment. This chemical bonding does not check identification cards. It responds to emotional consistency, empathy, and care, which can exist at any age. Many people discover that emotional maturity does not follow a strict timeline. Some individuals develop self-awareness, emotional regulation, and compassion earlier in life, while others take longer. When love forms, it often recognizes maturity rather than age, responding to how someone handles conflict, affection, and vulnerability. Shared emotional experiences create a sense of we that feels timeless. Laughing together, supporting each other through stress, and navigating challenges builds a private emotional world. Within that space, age feels irrelevant because the bond is rooted in shared meaning rather than social comparison. Psychology shows that attachment is strengthened through emotional reliability. When someone shows up consistently, listens without judgment, and offers comfort, the brain associates them with safety. Safety is one of the strongest predictors of love, far outweighing demographic differences. Age becomes less significant when communication flows naturally. Conversations that feel effortless, curious, and emotionally stimulating signal compatibility. The mind focuses on how understood it feels rather than on societal expectations about who should love whom. Emotional intimacy also thrives on authenticity. When both people feel free to be themselves without performing or pretending, the connection deepens. Authenticity builds trust, and trust creates love that feels grounded and real regardless of age differences. From a psychological perspective, love is reinforced by emotional attunement. This is the ability to sense another person's emotional state and respond appropriately. When two people attune well to each other, their bond feels natural, making age fade into irrelevance. Many individuals report that love feels right before it makes sense. This intuitive response comes from the subconscious recognizing emotional compatibility. The brain prioritizes this inner alignment over external data points. Ultimately, emotional connection rewires perception. When someone meets your emotional needs in a way that feels rare and meaningful, age becomes just a detail, not a barrier. Love grows where understanding lives. Beyond emotion, love is deeply influenced by how two minds interact. Cognitive compatibility refers to shared ways of thinking, problem-solving, and interpreting the world. When these align, age differences lose psychological weight. People bond over shared perspectives, curiosity, and intellectual engagement. When conversations stimulate growth and insight, the brain associates the other person with mental expansion. This creates attraction rooted in thought rather than chronology. Psychologically, humans seek partners who confirm their worldview while also gently challenging it. When someone understands your beliefs, ethics, and priorities, it creates a sense of mental safety. That safety encourages emotional investment regardless of age. Shared values play a powerful role in sustaining love. When two people agree on what matters most, such as honesty, kindness, growth, or purpose, their bond feels stable. Values are learned through experience, not age alone. Cognitive maturity is often mistaken for age, but they are not the same. Someone who reflects deeply, takes responsibility for their actions, and thinks long-term demonstrates psychological adulthood. Love recognizes this depth more than a number. When people feel intellectually respected, attraction strengthens. Being taken seriously, listened to, and engaged with thoughtfully creates a sense of equality. This perceived equality reduces the psychological salience of age differences. Neuroscience suggests that mental stimulation activates reward pathways in the brain. When someone excites your thinking, you associate them with pleasure and curiosity. This mental reward system does not discriminate by age. Shared humor also reflects cognitive alignment. Laughing at the same ideas and understanding subtle references builds closeness. Humor is a powerful bonding tool that creates intimacy beyond demographics. Problem-solving styles influence long-term attraction. When two people navigate challenges with compatible approaches, trust grows. That trust reinforces love and shifts focus away from external factors like age. In the end, love flourishes when minds meet. When two people think in harmony, age becomes a footnote rather than a defining feature of the relationship. Love that survives awareness of age is often rooted in secure attachment. Attachment theory explains how people bond based on early experiences of care and safety. When a relationship provides emotional security, the mind prioritizes stability over social norms. Psychological safety is the feeling that one can express emotions without fear of rejection. When someone offers this consistently, the bond deepens rapidly. Age becomes irrelevant when emotional safety is present. Secure attachment develops through responsiveness and reliability. When someone is emotionally available and consistent, the nervous system relaxes. This calm state allows love to grow without anxiety about differences. People with secure bonds focus on how a relationship feels rather than how it appears. Internal experience outweighs external judgment. Love becomes a private reality shaped by emotional truth, not public opinion. Attachment is reinforced through mutual care. When both individuals support each other's emotional needs, the relationship feels balanced. This balance reduces power dynamics often associated with age gaps. Psychology shows that fear diminishes love while safety strengthens it. When age differences are acknowledged without threat or control, trust remains intact. Trust allows love to persist. Emotional security also involves respect for autonomy. When both people feel free to grow independently, the relationship feels healthy. This respect counters stereotypes about age-based dependence. Over time, shared routines and emotional rituals deepen attachment. Small daily interactions create familiarity and comfort. Familiarity breeds closeness, making age fade into the background. The brain associates secure relationships with stress reduction. When someone helps regulate emotions during difficult moments, they become psychologically indispensable. Love grows from this regulation, not from age similarity. Ultimately, love endures when it feels safe, supportive, and authentic. When a relationship meets deep psychological needs, knowing someone's age does not diminish affection. It simply becomes part of the story, not the reason it exists. Love has a unique ability to reshape how people experience time and identity. Psychologically, when someone falls in love, the brain begins to merge the concept of self with the concept of other. This merging process makes external markers like age feel less rigid, because the relationship is experienced as a shared psychological space rather than two separate timelines. Identity is not static. It evolves through experiences, reflection, and relationships. When two people meet at compatible stages of emotional or psychological growth, their ages may differ, but their inner narratives align. Love recognizes this alignment and responds to who the person is becoming, not just who they have been. From a psychological standpoint, humans are meaning-making beings. We interpret our lives through stories, not statistics. When someone fits naturally into your life story, age becomes a background detail rather than a defining chapter. The mind prioritizes coherence and emotional continuity over numerical logic. Love also alters time perception. Research shows that strong emotional bonds can make time feel compressed or expanded. Moments together may feel timeless while time apart feels longer. In this altered perception, age loses its usual linear importance and becomes psychologically distant. Growth-oriented relationships focus on mutual evolution. When both people encourage learning, healing, and self-discovery, love feels forward-moving. The brain associates the partner with progress and possibility, which naturally outweighs concern about age differences. Psychologically mature love values direction more than distance. Where two people are heading together matters more than where they started separately. Shared goals, dreams, and intentions anchor the relationship in the future rather than the past. Social expectations often frame age as a predictor of compatibility, but psychology shows that adaptability matters more. When two individuals adapt well to change, communicate openly, and recalibrate expectations together, their bond becomes resilient. Resilience is far more attractive to the human psyche than conformity. Love challenges internalized rules about time and milestones. When affection feels authentic and reciprocal, the brain begins to question narratives about what love is supposed to look like. This cognitive flexibility allows emotional truth to take precedence over social conditioning. In many cases, love after knowing someone's age reflects self-acceptance. When individuals are comfortable with their own life stage, they are less threatened by differences in others. This inner security creates space for genuine connection without comparison. Psychologically, love thrives in presence. Being emotionally present with someone anchors the relationship in the now. Age belongs to the past, but presence belongs to the moment, and the brain responds most strongly to what feels alive and real. Shared identity forms through rituals, language, and emotional shorthand. Over time, couples develop private meanings that exist outside of age or social labels. This shared identity becomes the emotional core of the relationship. Ultimately, love redefines time by grounding it in experience rather than measurement. When two people grow together, reflect together, and imagine together, age becomes a detail of origin, not a limit on connection. Love endures because it speaks the language of becoming, not counting.